Lili is our daughter. She's 10 years old. She's very outgoing and friendly and loves everybody.
We used to call her the mayor of her school because everybody knew who she was and she was friends with just anybody that came in contact with her. She just had that magnetism that just drew people to her. On September 10th, we went to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, where she was rushed to from school.
She was having a seizure and she's never had a seizure before, so.
From there, they had told us that they had found a lesion on the right side of her brain. And they weren't quite sure what it was yet and that they needed to run more tests. You're at that line where either it's cancer or it's not cancer. So in that time frame, that's where her head is. It's like we're right in the middle of the road. You know, the labs are all back and, you know, it's aggressive, grade 3 tumor.
And they said that's probably why she never had symptoms before. She was a typical kid. She, went to school and she was pretty healthy. I mean, she was born with a heart defect, but they pretty much had fixed most of it when she was a baby. And so she didn't really have any residual effects from that. So she played softball. She was very active.
You had to balance the fear and the sadness and having your heart ripped out of your chest with, I have to be strong for her and we got to get this done, and defeat is not an option. From there, we decided to do the proton therapy. So every day we're getting up in the car and we're driving 40 minutes to downtown Atlanta to where the proton radiation therapy center is, and get it done and get back in the car and drive home and then do the same thing. It was once a day, 5 days a week for the 32 treatments.
My name is Lili Callahan. I'm 10 years old. I have a brain tumor. It changed my life completely.
Where's my close up? Close up. Ah.
Tomorrow we're going to Buffalo to get a vaccine at Roswell Park to make me better. When I'm flying to Buffalo, I like to look out the window, look at the sky. I see tiny buildings and little people walking around, little cars driving. I think it's funny to look at that stuff because it's like you're a big giant.
We heard about Lili's story, and I spoke to her primary neuro-oncologist down in Atlanta, and he was familiar with the SurVaxM vaccine, understood that this was a novel therapy that had been developed at Roswell Park and currently would only be available at Roswell Park. I think that for Lili and her family, this provided a step towards hope for them and an opportunity to get the kind of treatment that wasn't available at their own institution.
We were so relieved that Roswell had something that would benefit Lili.
There's only so much they can do to treat brain tumors. The first time we really heard of the name of the vaccine was probably when we talked to Dr. Twist for the first time and kind of explained, here in Buffalo, we're using this vaccine called SurVaxM to fight brain tumors of the kind that our daughter has.
Do you think you're brave?
Yeah.
Is that hard to talk about?
Yes. I have to be strong for the vaccine. I also have to be strong for the family and keep on fighting.
You always want to be the person to have it done to you instead of it being done to them. And you wish you could be in their place. Felt like your heart was getting ripped out of your chest all over again because you don't want her to be in that situation and you just wish you could throw your arm in there instead and say, stick me instead. When times are the toughest, it doesn't seem to bother her. She powers through it. She has that personality that, I'm not going to back down to anything.
I don't think about the future. I just go day by day because the vaccine is going to make sure that the brain tumor doesn't come back. Because then I'd have to go through all this stuff again, and I don't want to do that.
We always think about I think the future and stuff. Considering the alternative would just be to do the radiation, the chemo, and then just, hope it doesn't come back, but know that it probably will. At least this, I guess, gives us more of a hope that it won't come back, or there'll be a bigger gap between now and if it does come back.
This offered her some promise and some hope.
Every 6 to 8 weeks, we do another MRI to look at what the tumor is doing, and also to look and see if there's any new growth. So every scan that we get that there's no new growth is a positive step in the right direction. And the longer that happens, the more faith we have in that this is something that we're beating, and that it's not going to recur, and that this is the breakthrough, and that this is what's going to lead to her having a much better quality of life. A year from now, the Lili Strong hashtag is that there's still no new growth, and we're still progressing, and she's getting better, and she doesn't have to take as much steroids anymore because the swelling has gone down, because the vaccine is working. So, the hashtag will just continue to be about supporting her and supporting her friends and family.
When novel therapies are developed at Roswell Park through the research funds that come through the Ride for Roswell and through the Alliance Foundation, that provides the stimulus money for these new treatments to go from the bench to the bedside.
Today, while we're treating one Lili, we know there's countless other Lilis out there across America that need hope. Here we have something that was started here in Buffalo, started and funded by the people of Western New York through the Ride for Roswell, that is now going to be offered in clinical trials across America and bringing hope to cancer patients everywhere.
So what would you say to those people who are out there raising all this money to help people like you?
Thank you.